Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me on the show. I'm thrilled to have you guys here, and I'm excited to talk about today's topic, which is number patterns, repeated number patterns. And this is great because it came as a request from you guys, so thank you for asking the questions. Honestly, if there's things you want to know, post them in the comments like some of you are doing, and I will make a video, either a Making Sense of Life one or a full podcast on it. Because again, the more we can share, the better. And if I don't know the answer to your question, then I will try my best to find an expert on that and have them on the show. So let's get started. Number patterns are one of the easiest ways the universe can speak to us, because we can see it on a clock, we can see them on license plates, on the gas meter, on receipts, you name it, street signs, all of that. Number patterns are easily available, is kind of how Spirit says it. It's easily available. And so they will often try to get our attention at a time in which we can see a specific number pattern. Now, the question was what do the numbers mean? There are so many different interpretations of what the numbers mean, and I'm going to say that is absolutely correct, and in a way, the way it should be. Because here's one thing, is what matters most is what something means to you rather than what it is supposed to mean. And I think that's a really important thing to kind of always keep in mind as you grow in your spiritual journey is, a number may mean one thing to one person, but if it represents something different for you, well, then that's what it means for you, and that's what matters most. Okay, so I do want to keep that at the forefront, is whatever I share about these numbers, if it resonates for you, or if that number has no representation in your mind and you want to take what I'm offering as a representation, perfect. But if that number is specific to, say it was the number of your best friend's jersey and they passed on, say it was number 22, right? Well, then that will forever be a representation of your best friend, and that's completely fine. So just consider that. Always feel what resonates with you first and foremost. But let's talk about this. So let's just start at the beginning. 111, 111s. Ones are all about new beginnings. And often this is new beginnings in your life, in your career, your next phase of life. I like to see 111 as like a new chapter in your book starting, right? So you take all the wisdom that you've learned and you're stepping into something new. So if you see 111 on the clock, that's often that you are on a new path. This can also be, though, a representation of you awakening to a new aspect of you. Something within you is growing. And so this can really be an awakening to your spiritual side as well, 111s or 1111. Okay, so ones are beautiful new beginning numbers. It's also one of the most common numbers that you'll see from your guides when you start on a new journey. So that's pretty cool too. The next one is 222. 222 is one that is about things coming into balance, things in your life. And because the universe is trying to help bring these things into balance, it's asking for you to surrender to the flow and trust the process. There are new opportunities coming in, and that can be in the form of partnerships. So 222 can also be symbolic of partnerships. That can be business partnerships, love partnerships, deepening of family partnerships. It's the union of two things, new opportunities, something being brought forward to you. And if you don't get in your way and you allow the flow to happen, then you have this opportunity to really step forward and make something beautiful from it. So that's twos. Threes. Threes are really about encouragement and being on, they're kind of encouraging you to stay on your spiritual path, continue opening and evolving. It can also really mean that like ascended masters and angels are near you. This is that if you're looking for deep guidance, threes are encouraging you to step into exploring your mind, body, and spirit in regards to where you are. So, for example, if you're looking to make a career change and you're seeing 333s, that could be that career change is on the horizon, but tune into your mind, body, and spirit and see if this feels right. feels like an alignment, feels like the right next step, maybe call in some of your angels or ascended masters or anything like that, and connect in deeper with your spiritual self as you move forward on that journey. Okay, so it's really a number of encouragement to keep going. You've got this. And that you're going to be stepping up into, it's kind of like the follow through on the 2s of new opportunities. 3 is like encouragement to make those things happen, check in with your alignment, see how it feels, and then move forward. Number 4, 4 are so much about stability. To me, 4s are stability, structure. I picture like 4 legs of a table, right? This is like time to ground your energy in, or maybe it's helping to reassure you that you've reached a place of stability. It's also encouragement to ground your energy, to find the calm, find the peace, find the feeling of home, find the feeling that allows you to feel centered, and then continue moving forward. Release your doubts, move forward in your faith, and trust that you have a good grasp on what's going on and where you're going. So 4s are really reassuring. 4s to me are like a hug or a warm blanket that like, all is well, you're good. This is good. Keep going, right? So they're very grounding numbers, calm, supportive energy from your guides. Now 5s, 5 is about major life changes are either happening or manifesting. So these are really about action. And sometimes it can be that there's action happening right now, but sometimes this can be that there's action about to happen. You're about to reach some milestone, some big change of sorts. It's also letting you know that your manifestations of what you're desiring to change are on the way. Now, for some people, 5s can sometimes mean like tower moments, though. Even though that's not the same number on the tower card in tarot, but 5s can mean changes that really radically change your experience in the world. So sometimes people feel a little nervous about 5s, but to be honest, anytime, like I know one time I was at the gas station and I'd finished filling my tank and it was like 55, 55, 55, right? It was amazing to see. And it really was symbolic of how much in my world was changing. But instead of feeling really daunted about it, I was like, okay, so there is flow and shift happening. This is great. And I chose to breathe it in and let it move through me. And it, was very accurate. A lot of things were shifting, but it was all in the highest good. So 5s are really indicative of like your manifestations moving forward. You've been releasing doubt and now they're actually happening. They're manifesting. So keep your eyes open to what's going on. Keep your eyes aware of receiving the messages from Spirit. Anytime I see 555, I for sure say, okay guys, got it. Thank you. It's letting me know that there's momentum. Okay. 666. Now, some people really worry about this number because of its old connections to the devil and stuff. To me, 666 can represent family. There's a deepening of family connection, family unit. It can also be asking you to re-examine your life to get into better alignment. I like to look at 666 as Spirit encouraging me to, essentially find gratitude for what I've created within my 3D life. So how my family is, what kind of cohesive energy is there in that? How can I better that? How can I focus on that? Maybe I need a bit more downtime with my family. I always feel it as kind of like a reminder or getting into better alignment to do with family in some form. Now that could be soul family for you. There's many ways that can come through, but that's one that I really like to see as kind of like a reminder to check in. And if you check in and all is well, then it's like a pat on the back from Spirit saying, you're doing a good job, keep going. All right, number 7. This one is great. This is like you have really ascended to a next level of spiritual growth. And that doesn't mean you do chants and mantras every day. And if you do, that's fantastic. But it doesn't have to mean that. It just means that you've reached a new level of self-awareness. And that a breakthrough of sorts is coming through because of all the work that you've put in, because of your desires to manifest something different, your willingness to look at what you've been doing and what is changing for you, and your intent to change things, grow things, expand things. look back into your past, whatever it is, your desire to grow as a human in your consciousness and your compassion. 777 is like, wow, you're doing great, and there's a breakthrough on the way for you, so keep going. It's things are in full momentum by that point. So there's a current carrying you down that current in the direction you've been manifesting, and Spirit is really patting you on the back for what you've been doing to get to this level of self-awareness. And so again, it's like a breakthrough is coming soon. They're helping you out, helping to align it, and keep your eyes on the horizon because there are good things coming. Now, number 8 is about material abundance actually materializing, right? Like, so this could be an influx of finances coming in. This could be like a business partnership that really locks into place and starts creating, moving. This is alignments of, say you've been waiting for a job, well then the job comes, right? So if you're seeing 888 after a job interview, that's going to be a good indicator that you're most likely going to get that job. Or if you're waiting to hear about plans for this trip or things like that, things that can materialize actually in your physical world, 8s are really good with that. It means energy in is going out and the energy out is coming in. You've got this really neat figure 8, right? Infinity symbol of energy in and out, creating a flow that allows the energy to manifest for you. So abundance on its way. It's also one that's saying, hey, you've been really working hard to complete something, which we'll see in 10s, but 8s are like, you're getting really close. So don't give up your hard work here. You're getting really, really close. Now 9s are really interesting because again, they're one step closer than an 8, right? So 9 to 10, you got just one number away. 9s are like something is about to complete. Something is really waiting to become the end of a chapter. You're finishing up, you're tying up loose ends, you're closing off one story in order to bring a new story about. So 9s can have energy of forgiveness, of releasing control, of acceptance, and a willingness to see something through to the end. It's like the last, say, half a kilometer of a race where you can see the finish line far, far down there. But the 9 is like, don't give up, keep going. Like you're there, you can see the finish line, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So keep going. That's what 9s are telling you. So 9s are a great one if you're really looking to wrap up a phase of your life and move on to the next one. You definitely want to see some 9s. 10. So if you see like 10, 10 is that everything is working out for you. You are moving forward, moving towards a higher purpose. You have completed some really beautiful, significant things in your life, and you're moving into an energy of new. You have the energy of the number of 0, which is essentially, in my understanding, a God number, a source of creation number, something that hasn't quite yet been told what it's going to be. It is inert and waiting to be something. So you have 0s paired with a 1, which is an action potential of something new. So it's like everything is completed and it's working out. So now you're moving in towards your higher purpose yet, right? So if you're seeing 10 10s plus 777, like you're really hitting some high levels of new phases of life and increased self-awareness. And now 1111, we talked a little bit about that with the 111 in the beginning, but it's kind of like keep going, make your wishes happen, set your energy, new beginnings, that kind of thing. Synchronicities, 1111 really represents synchronistic events. So if you're wondering if something that happened in your day was just a coincidence, but then you happen to look at the clock and it's 1111, that's the universe saying, hey, that wasn't a coincidence. That, my friend, was a synchronicity. So pay attention to it. Now, 1111, like 111, are usually the first numbers people will tend to start seeing when they start recognizing number patterns on the clock kind of thing, or on street signs and things. 1111, 111 are the most common. Again, that's because they represent like a new journey, a new beginning of tuning into your spiritual side, seeing numbers, and so on. But I know whenever I see 1111 now, I find it as such a encouragement. I'm like, got it, 1111. I'm carrying on forward. I'm going to make some wishes here for what I desire. I'm going to thank the universe for being in this beautiful flow with me. It's just a moment where, I feel the universe winks at me and I can wink back. And now 1212 is often that obstacles are being removed from your path and that there is luck coming in love. 1212 can also be the finality of a chapter or of a book. So if like 9s were kind of the end of a chapter, 12s would be like the end of a book. So if your life was like a trilogy and you see 1212 and it doesn't connect to you about love or obstacles, it's like you're really stepping into a new path, new phase, new you, new story completely of your life path. And maybe you're on book 3 of your life. Maybe you're on book 5. But it's a time where like obstacles have been removed. So the universe is saying, hey, get out a fresh new book. You are writing a new journey. So now is the time to step into that and bring that together. So there's a quick rundown for you guys all about the numbers. And again, I encourage you to bring in and imbibe what feels right for you. And if you read somewhere else a number pattern means this to you or this to you, then really let that be your truth. That's what matters most. Now, sometimes I do want to say, sometimes you'll find that you'll have a pairing of a couple number patterns showing up. Like I know sometimes I've been in, like a month, I'm seeing 777 and 444. Well, I'll take the 2 messages in that, right? Like, okay, I'm in a place of stability now and I'm reaching another level of ascension. Awesome. Okay, I'm moving forward, right? So notice when the numbers come up, jot them down or tell the universe like, hey guys, I noticed that. Thank you for that. I really want to encourage you again, don't allow the number patterns, well, you can choose to do what you want, but it's not beneficial to allow a number pattern to instill a fear. So if you're reading things about number patterns where they're bad, say 5s, for example, because they get a bad rap, that means negative, bad things could happen, tower moments, I would really just kind of ditch that and just accept or embrace the idea of something is changing, and whatever changes, it's allowing you to make space for something new. So perspective is key with number patterns. And if you enjoy number patterns, tell your guides that and you will see it start to amplify more and more in your daily life. Number patterns, like I said, are one of the easiest ways your guides can come through to bring through messages for you. So this may be a podcast that you listen back on a couple times in order to get the understandings of it. But hopefully this kind of helps you move through or move forward on your journey. And as always, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me on the show. I appreciate it. I love the questions. Keep them coming. And I so look forward to seeing you guys again soon. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you guys next week.